Hi, this is Capitulum Decem or Unit 10. Oh, there's Alex. And these are the exercises. Unit 10 is the perfect active tense and the relative pronouns. And we'll get to our opening prayer here. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. Okay, we had the perfect tense last time. And the perfect tense, briefly to refresh everybody's memory, is an event that has occurred in the past. So laudavi could be translated as I praised, or I had praised, or I have praised. There's a couple of different ways to say the past tense in English. Yes, salve, Alex.
Michael,
yeah.
Michael,
Yes.
I don't think it would be had praised.
You're right. It had praised would be the
pluperfect.
Pluperfect, yeah.
It can't be had praised. It can only be have praised or praised.
Yeah. Either way, yeah. Let's see, where was I? Oh, yeah. It's pretty easy to make it or form the pluperfect, or sorry, the perfect. Got the pluperfect stuck in my head. Is you're going to take the third part of the word. And as I mentioned last time, that's the tricky part, is because it's different. For first conjugation verbs, it is usually, which are ARE verbs, it is usually an AVI ending. So laudare, laudavi, amare, amavi. And for second, it's usually a UI. For third, however, you see that duco, and we'll see this when we get to the exercises. Duco, the third part is duxi. And for capio, the third part is cepi. So those are not easily deduced from their infinitive and their first person forms. Audivi, okay, is similar to the first one. Now, the other thing I want to warn you about, though, is, and I gave examples last time, is that's not an absolute rule. There are first conjugation verbs that don't follow the nice AVI, and there are definitely some fourth conjugation ones that don't follow the IVI. So,
Dare. D-A-R-E.
Oh, yes, dare. Yeah. Oh, good one. Yeah, deity. Yeah, good example. So that's why I've been sort of saying, hey, memorize all four parts, and that we would eventually get to all four of them. Well, now we add the third today, or well, last time. And so I put up the template, excuse me, to show you how they are formed. The good news is while you may have to struggle a little bit to get the root, once you do, it's the same for everything. The endings are I, isti, it, imus, istis, and erunt, right across the board. So you can, I probably should have underlined all of these in the table. Since I saved these charts, I'll try and remember to do that for next time. So if the imperfect tense was the really easy one to form because of the ba, I'd have to give the perfect active tense second place for second easiest, because it has all the same endings. It's just the tricky part is you've got to know what that root is. So
this is where the very first set of homework would be like fui, fuisti, fuit, fuimus, fuistis, and fuerunt.
Yeah,
Just
we'll
like
get
it says on the
to it.
bottom.
Yeah, we'll get to
Okay.
it. You're giving them all the answers.
Well, I just want to make sure I get the pattern right.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah, and that's the purpose of this diagram here is once you get that particular root for the perfect form, then you just run with it. The one that's kind of miserable is sum, sa, the verb to be, which is irregular in every language known, well, every language that I know. And maybe Esperanto, they regularized it, but I don't think it's regular in any language. So you kind of have to tough your way through it. But the good news is, even though the forms, you go from sum to aram to ero, you do share many of the same endings for the present and then the imperfect and the future. So it's not quite that bad. But the perfect form, which is rather hysterical in English, is fooey. Not to be confused with PH, what is it? OOEY, I think is how that's usually spelled. No, it is fooey. But you do have the same endings: fui, fuisti, fuit, fuimus, fuistis, fuerunt. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to mention before I forget. In a lot of the earlier endings, the imus, the istis, they tended to, and the isti tended to be long vowels. They are not. The only long vowels in the perfect endings are for the first person singular, and then the second person singular, the ending there, and then the erunt, which I don't see how you could make that short anyway. Verunt, I guess, which isn't going to work. So I'll verunt. So it's pretty easy to see that that's long. So just be advised of that.
Michael, question on pronunciation.
Yeah.
Is it diverunt or diverunt?
Say that again.
The last syllable, is it unt or unt? A diverunt?
Okay, it's not an unt. Okay. The U in Latin, the short U in Latin is an as in put. Okay.
Okay.
And if you remember, cum sancto spiritu in gloria Dei Patris. So it's not cum, it is cum.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because you were saying a diverunt, and I was wondering if it was.
Well, I'm
I-
trying to say al diverunt. If I said
So
an
it
unt,
is the oo sound. Okay.
yeah, if I said an unt, then my English is showing, and I apologize.
Yeah, I think it's what happens to all of us.
Well, no, the problem is I when I switch a lot, I tend to there's collision in the brain cells. So
That's what I'm hearing.
but no, it should be an sound. Aldiverunt. Aldiverunt.
Okay.
And then no, what I was trying to do is put a shorty in there. Aldiverunt. Aldiverunt. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't put a shorty in there. That's probably where you heard me say it. Anyway, fui, fuisti, fuit, fuimus, fuistis, fuerunt. So just remember sum, I am, esse, to be, fui, which is the perfect stem, and then we'll get to the fourth part later, futuris. The other thing I introduced last time were the relative pronouns and interrogative adjectives. Oh, I thought I had some more charts. Did I drop those? Oh, I deleted them. Shame on me. Oh, well. Okay, I thought I had more of them in there. Oh, well. Oh, I know what I did. They're in your notes, aren't they? In other words, the next page. Whoop. Okay, I think I dropped these in my slides. Rats. Oh, well. Anyway, the relative pronouns. Okay, a relative pronoun. Hold on a second. Let me.
Slide 7 and 8 are the next thing.
Yeah, and they talk about relative pronouns, don't they?
Yeah, you've got.
Yeah. See, what happened is in my master here, so let me snag those for just a second. All right, because they're also in unit 3.
So that's slide 6, and then you're
there we go.
missing 7 and 8.
Yeah, here, let me do this. New
7, 8, 9,
share.
and 10.
Let's do
7, 8,
that.
9, 10, and 11.
There we go. I jumped to the unit 10 notes. I'll fix my notes later. Because I wanted to go over this again. They follow a pattern that's somewhat like the first and second adjectives. In the third part, though, you see the quibus, which is more like the third declension, which you haven't had yet. So again, memorize it. What they're used for is they act like adjectives, or, well, they really act like adjectives, since they ultimately refer back to a noun. You can't use these without the noun somewhere. Relative pronouns usually follow the noun immediately, and interrogative adjectives precede the noun. So what is an example in English there, or Latin for that matter? Relative pronouns: Agnus Dei qui tollis peccata mundi. So the Lamb of God who takest away the sins of the world. So the qui goes back to Agnus Dei. Pater noster qui es in caelis. Our Father who art in heaven. And then from the Psalms, Beatus vir cuius est auxilium abste. Blessed is the man whose help is in the name of the Lord. So cuius goes back to Beatus vir, qui goes back to Pater noster, and qui goes back to Agnus Dei. And the form it takes, depending upon whether you're using it in the genitive sense, sorry, the nominative sense, the genitive sense, or et cetera. And it can be any one of those depending upon the structure. So in this case, of course, that's nominative, and this, of course, is genitive. So,
Michael?
Yeah.
Can I make a couple of comments about memorization techniques for?
Sure, go right ahead.
2 things. When we're dealing with the first and second declensions, the ablative and dative plural, they're all across the board the same thing. The is, yes. And notice on this that the ablative plural and dative across the board are the same.
Correct.
The quibus. A second thing is there's a real similarity in the noter between the nominative and the accusative, both singular and plural. So you have and in the singular for neuter second declension. Here you have quod and quod for your singular. In the plural neuter second declension, you have and for the nominative and the accusative. Here you have que and que for the plural and the neuter. Yep. So you see that there is a distinct following here in these pronouns and interrogative adjectives with regard to the neuter. So that those are two really easy ways to remember the nominative and the accusative in the singular, and the nominative and the accusative in the plural are exactly the same, just as they are in the second declension neuter nouns.
Yep. Yeah, and that's true. The observation of the neuter, nominative, and accusative being the same form is true across all of the noun declensions. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth, which we will, actually, I'm going to get to. We'll talk about some of the later declensions at the end of this class. And then the same is true for their plural form. Their plural nominative and their plural accusative are the same. And you're also right, the dative and the ablative plurals are always the same across the board. So, but yeah, that's why I said there is a similarity there. And if you can pick up on that, great. And a minor correction, Alex, this is a short O, so it is quad.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll never get the pronunciation right.
That's all right.
I'll try.
Well, hey, I've seen the way lawyers pronounce their Latin, and I think we really ought to say that since you're a lawyer, you have a natural disability there. I don't. They generally pronounce it straight, like straight English, and it just sometimes I have to write it out phonetically in English and then read it back in Latin. I go, oh, that's what they mean.
Well, suffice it to say that quo comes up a lot more often than quad.
Yes. See, and so it is quo, qua, quo, but this is a short O, quad.
Quad.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like QUAD, quad. Okay. But yes, all of those observations are correct. Let's see, where were we here? Oh yeah, more examples. I took one form or another across the to give examples. So in filiis hominum, in the children of men. So notice that is ablative. No, dative. Sorry, dative. What am I saying? In quibus non est salus, in whom there is no salvation. So since we're doing the in whom, we need the dative here. So in quibus. Non sunt loquele neque sermones quorum non audiantur voces eorum. There are no speeches or languages of which, so genitive, their voices are not heard. And you may remember the Alma Redemptoris Mater. So I figured I had to put in a feminine form here. Alma Redemptoris Mater quae per via celi porta manes. Loving mother of the Redeemer, who remains the accessible gateway of heaven. So it has to agree in gender and number back with the noun it is modifying, because as I said, it's like an adjective, but it the case has to be wherever it makes sense within the context of the clause. Interrogative adjectives are very, very similar, but they come right before the noun. Oh, what is a manes? Oh, Teresa. What is the verb maneo mean? Not to be confused. Oh, wait, you guys, I don't know if you had maneo. That's right, you had moneo. Maneo is to remain.
That pops up in another prayer that I usually pray.
Maneo, manere. Let's see now. Do I remember what the? Yeah, okay. Let me get man. Manse.
There's a prayer that I got from Bishop Fulton Sheen that I like to pray before the St. Michael prayer.
Mhm.
Let me type it in. Oh,
Yeah,
see if I can type it in.
Michael?
Yeah.
So if you want to be literal about this, it would be like, who you remain, since this is in the second person, singular, right?
yeah. Actually, I would say you who remain, but
Okay.
yeah,
you
same
who.
idea. Same idea.
It's a
Yes.
sort of a hello, you who.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's part of the problem is in English, you say you who, they think you're, waving hello. So I've resisted using that just for that reason. But yeah, there is an implied thee, thou, or whatever. Michael Princeps Mane. No, that's a different word.
Okay.
Yeah. You sure that's right?
I got it off a website that was supposed to have translated it, or it was the Latin version of the prayer.
Well,
It's,
Princeps.
oh, Michael, Prince of the Morning.
Yeah, well, okay. They really did mean Prince of the Morning then, because that's what that said. Okay, if that's what the English was, because
Oh,
Mane is exactly that. It is. It means morning. It is also indeclinable, so it's kind of like an adverb if you want to, So so amane ad vesperum is from morning till evening, or but yeah, mane, early in the morning. So Prince of the Morning. Is it really Prince of the Morning?
Okay, the English is, oh, Michael, Prince of the Morning, who conquered Lucifer, who would make himself a god, period.
Yeah.
That's how it starts. Of course, I typoed Lucifer there.
Yeah, no, I think, oh boy. I don't like the use of that word there with princeps. I would say I'd use like a version of matutina, which is morning. So I wonder if somebody used a
The Google Translator.
yeah, I wonder if we have a Google translation here.
This came off of a website that had Latin prayers on it. So
Yeah. Well, one of the it's on the web, so you never know where they got it. So,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what throw me is because mane is a time. It's you need like Prince of the Morning, or
You'd need a genitive.
you need a genitive or an adjective. You can also do like matutinus, which is morning prince, although a belonging or something. So I don't know if I like that. Anyway, I may think about it. But let's move on. Interrogative adjectives, as I say, they come right before the noun. So qui minister hodie missam celebrabat. So which minister was celebrating mass today? Qui minister, which minister? Cui viro dediste pecuniam? To which man did you give the money? Or for Teresa's benefit, to which man didst thou give the money?
No, I'm the y'all girl. I like y'all.
Y'all, okay, you prefer the y'all. Okay.
I like
The yous are okay if they're singular.
More than one person, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be y'all for this one, though.
Pardon?
It wouldn't be y'all for this
Oh, yeah,
one.
yeah. Yes, Alex. Yeah, there's no y'all there. I'd have to put an S in there. Quam feminam vidisti? Which woman did you see? So, again, they come right before the noun. The other thing is, let's see now. Yeah, qui, que, quod are all relative pronouns, interrogative adjectives. they refer back to a particular noun in the sentence. And I'm kind of annoyed that, oh, wait, you know what? Hold on, let me look for something here. In cleaning up stuff, oh, no, I threw it away. Too bad. They are not what's known as the indefinite pronoun to ask the general question of who or what. Indefinite pronouns do not have a noun. Well, what do I mean by that? They are the general purpose word for who, like who didst thou seeth, or what didst thou eat. For that, we have quis for who and quid for what. And so maybe as a exercise, I will show you quis in prima est. Any guesses as to what that means?
Something about something being first. What is first? Who's on first?
Who's on first? Yes. Ranieri rendered who's the Abbott and Costello routine on who's on first into Latin. So we may go through some of that. All right, let me put that. Oh, any questions on the indefinite pronouns? Because I want to hit the homework.
Just one question. Real
Sure.
quick. I guess that, a couple of chapters ago, we reviewed the subordinating conjunctions, quia, quod,
Yes.
and quoniam.
Yes.
And so I guess out of those three, the only one that we see here is the nominative nominative neuter and accusative neuter. So the point I'm trying to make is, I guess what you do to make sure that you know what the proper translation is, you just looked at the context.
Yes.
So
yeah, quad. You're going to find quad gets a lot of use.
So it could either be that, depending on the context, or it could be who, which, what, any of those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it can even be because. So it gets a lot of context. All right, let me put that one away. And I'm annoyed I deleted those, but that's okay. I will get, let's share the other screen back. There we go. Whoop, come on, share. There we go. All right. Okay. So now let's start in on the homework. All right.
Okay, I already did one, which was
you did. So you want to read down this for us?
Fui, fuisti, fuit, fuimus, fuistis, and fuerunt.
Yep, very good. So I will put that over there. Boom. Anybody want to take the second one?
I can do the second one too if somebody else doesn't have it.
I can try.
Give it a try.
Okay. Adoravi, adoravisti, adoravits, adoravimus, adoravistis, adoraverunt.
Very good. The only thing I would correct is, to my ear, let me put that in there, is you put a long I in there. It is not adoravimus, adoravimus.
So adoravimus.
Vimus, short I, and the accent is on the long A there.
Okay, thank you.
And I think you might have done that for this one. And if you recall, I warned people about it because typically this vowel is long in this normal place. If I brought up my other sheet, in fact, why don't I just go ahead and do that, since that might not be such a bad idea. Okay, where is it? Okay. I need a monitor the size of, I don't know, like 100 inches or something. More windows up here. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. This is a ARE verb. So yeah, here it is. I will add this to the share here. Let's see, we'll do this one and this one. Okay, you should be able to see this table over here, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're
Yes.
right. If you
Okay.
look at the first person plural, amus, amus, all right, bimus, amavimus, amaveramus. Well, we haven't gotten to these yet, but the point is you're right. Most of the time these are long. For the future, they aren't though. But yeah, for the perfect tense, they're all short. So just, be careful. And you're probably going to catch me making it long once in a while, just out of habit. Compleo.
It's actually one I had time to do, so I'll do that one.
Okay.
Okay. Complevi, complevisti, complevis, complevimus, complevistis, compleverunt.
Excellent. All right.
So would that be pronounced complevimus or?
Complemus.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and remember, it's a us, like put. It's not a moose. It doesn't rhyme with moose. Although
No moose.
yeah, no mooses. Although to tell you the truth, in English we make that u a little too ooey. I don't know how else to put it. So it should, yeah, short u. The sound is as in put. So mus, as opposed to moose. In fact, if you say moose, that's Latin for mouse. Yeah, M-U-S, long M-U-S, long U is mouse. So you don't want any mice in your verbs. Trust me, they'll nibble and make a terrible mess.
I'd like to do the next one because I have a question.
I have a
Okay.
question on compleo before we move on.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
The definition, when I looked it up, the first definition out of the dictionary I had was to fill. And then like number 7 definition was complete. When I look at this, I think of the word complete. And so when you are doing your translating, what is the most common definition that's attached to this word?
Boy. Okay. It comes from pleo,
Which means fill.
which means to fill. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where we get gratia plena. Full,
Okay.
full. But in the Roman mind, full means complete.
And I can see that connection.
So if if Mary is full of grace, that means she's completely filled. It's complete. You can't get any gracier, which is a terrible word. But I think you get my idea.
Yeah.
Is that so?
A cup
Complete,
overflows, so to speak. Yes.
yeah. So complete is a possibility. It's again. And it can be to fill with anything, to fill with light, to fill with water. It can also mean to supply fully, which is where you get the notion of complete. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay. That helps. Thank you.
you have to map the word into the English word that matches better.
And
Depending upon-
Michael?
Yeah.
And the repleo, Allison was pointing out to me today that she thinks of it as replenish. It's pretty much the same, isn't it? To
But
fill,
that implies again.
Yeah,
in.
but that implies again. I see
And
what
that's
you're
what-
saying.
the text uses that.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
To refill. All right. I'll have to see what sense they use that
To
in.
fill or to fill again is what the text is.
Okay.
So I think it's not inappropriate to say replenish.
Okay. I was thinking of completely fill, from which you can get complete or fully full, or you can run with it there.
Yeah, there's a slight difference in that, like Jenny said, it's to fill again versus being completely filled.
Well,
Here.
again, I'd have to see the context.
But there's a close relationship.
Yeah, I'd have to see the context that puts it in. Before you're right, to replenish sounds like, well, yeah, replenish always sounds like a which means you've done it again. That's like the trick philosophical question, have you stopped beating your spouse? How do you answer that? With a yes, no question. Anyway, let's go on to rego.
Okay, so the first 5 are easy. Rexi, rexisti, rexit,
Yep.
reximus, rexistis.
Yes.
But the last one, I think, could either be rexerunt or rexere.
Yes, that's right.
Whoop, sorry, wrong one. Let me go back.
So I didn't know how to tell the difference between rexerunt and rexere.
That-
Rexere.
but all third person plural have the ERE as the
Yeah.
as the alternate form.
Okay, so you can
Oh,
use
yes. Yeah, there are. Okay, you're talking about the contraction.
rexere.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like complevere.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the alternative to complevere.
Yeah, okay, that is a contraction. Did he actually mention contractions in here? Ooh, I
Yeah.
missed mentioning it. Shame on me. Hold on, let me double check.
That's
I
why
try to read
ended up
through
with
this
both.
very carefully, but I read it 3 times and I still miss things. They mentioned, I didn't see mention. Oh, there it is. Yes.
That's why
The
I didn't know which one to use.
Fractions. Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait a minute, you're talking about third person plural, right?
Yeah, rexere.
I don't remember the third person plural contraction. Am I missing something here?
All the tables have that ERE as the alternate form.
In the book?
Yeah.
Well, no,
When
but
I went and looked it up in
everything online does that.
For the third person plural. All right.
That's right. So complevere
Yeah.
and adoravere.
Okay.
They all have that ERE ending. That's the alternate.
and the thing that I found confusing when I then went back and looked at Scriba will pull up when you type rexere, will pull up
Interesting.
rego, but there's no analysis for the for the shorthand.
Okay, I'll have to look that up. I don't remember the third person plural having that. Well, wait a minute. Let me look.
Okay,
So
well, you can always come back to it.
Yeah, hold on. No, I want to look at something here. Because I was going to mention. Come on, open up contractions. There we go. Oh, okay. Oh, all right, never mind. It's even in my notes. Senility. Okay. Yeah, the one that I was going to mention is you will see the second person, the visti and the vistis. You will see that contracted. But I don't want to get into contractions at the moment. But yeah, the ERE, you're right. Third person plural can get contracted. I don't see contractions very often in the liturgy. Okay. Where you would see typically where you see these is in poetry, where they need to fudge it a little bit, to get it to fit. But yeah, for now, we're just going to use the
there's another in Venial.
Yes, well, many of them have them. Well, they all have. All the errants have it. So in what you will find the you can, instead of the errant itself, you can have the ERE, long ERE. So yeah, these would all have it.
This is similar to the imperfect, indicative, passive, first person or second person singular.
Person. Yeah.
Second person singular, where you have the ARE or ending on all of them, all of the conjugations.
Yep.
And I assume that one is can be substituted for the other.
In the curse, in the passive case, yes.
Yeah, you could go say for Lada Baris to Lada Bare.
Yes. Yep. And you have to use that RE form for the infinitive. But I'm sorry, for the imperative. Okay. Accipio, unless there's further questions on rexerunt.
Okay, that should be accepi, accepisti, accepit, accepimus, accepistis, and acceperunt.
Yes, although I would say you need to make that E universally long. So accepi, accepisti, accepit, accepimus, accepistis, acceperunt.
Okay, but I thought it wasn't an A sound. It was this regular E sound. It was just longer. Accepi, not accepi, right?
I
thought the only difference between long and short was actually literally long or short,
not for all of the vowels. For A, that is true. So plena, nominative, is plena. Ablative, which has the long A, is plena. Almost no difference. Just you
Michael?
hold. Yes.
And so, for example, the perfect of capire is chepi, not chepi.
Oh, that's another good point.
I'm just saying that to exemplify what I understand you to be saying.
Yeah.
It's not chepi, it's chepi.
Chepi, yeah. Yeah,
and there's a similarity. There must be a connection between those two words, that they're very similar in meaning.
Yes, they are. Accipio is to take or accept. Okay. And so it comes from capio. Okay. Only it's ac capio, which is ac cipio is what the final form is. So it means to take, to accept, to receive, Capio means much this, similar. I mean, capio means to grasp, to take, to receive. Usually capio is I think more of a grasp than a simple accept.
Michael, we've also said that capire means also to accept or to take in a contemplative way, meaning
Yes.
to understand.
Yeah,
And
to understand.
Is that also true of accipere?
Oh, let's see now. Yeah, because you can
You could accept a principle or
accept,
something?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Okay. Venio. Now this one I want to point out. I put in the short, the
Okay.
marked it because it's venio. Okay. Venio,
So this should be,
venire, but veni. So the E
Yeah.
becomes long in the perfect form. And
So this
so
is
when we say veni,
veni.
veni, Emmanuel, we're saying, I came, O Emmanuel.
okay.
You really should sing Veni, Veni, Emmanuel, which would
Okay.
be Come, O come, Emmanuel. But again, we're singing, it's hard to make short, it's hard to hit short vowels and
Yeah.
way. So, Veni, Veni. So, but
So
it
then
is
this
Veni,
really is
Vici. It is Veni.
veni,
Yeah.
venisti, venit,
Yep.
venimus, venistis, and either venerunt or venere.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I think we talked about this once before. So the veni, vidi, vinci, that tells you that that expression is all in the perfect.
Correct.
I came. Yes, not I.
So a vidi would be the perfect of videre,
Yes.
and vinci, or I don't know what the infinitive is.
Vinco, vincere.
Okay. It's an ERE verb?
Yeah.
Okay.
It means to conquer.
Sorry, I got disconnected for just a quick second there.
Oh,
My internet got bleeped out, but okay.
how did you get reconnected? Because I didn't even have to let you in. Curious.
I think it's just because my internet went down, so I think once it came back, just
Well, it
back
may
up.
not have gone down, just sort of temporarily comatose. Interesting.
Perhaps.
All right. Anyway, moving on. Okay. Yeah, let's see if we can get much of this done as possible.
Okay, so this cantavistis means y'all have sung. And what we
Yes.
want is canabatis,
Spell that.
canabatis, B-A-T-I-S.
Canta.
Y'all were singing.
Yeah,
Con,
cantabatis.
oh, I left out the T.
You
Yes,
left
you're
a
right.
T out there. Yeah, I'm going.
I
where'd
did.
it go?
I
Yes.
did. Yeah, that's
Okay.
just a spelling mistake. I was scribbling.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
cantabatis.
Yes.
Okay. And this is where we get the word cantor.
Yes, the whole here we go. Yeah, the whole
Can
canto
even mean like
cantare, to sing. So the singer is a cantor.
Mhm.
You see it in amo, amare, to love. A lover is amator. And in Latin, by the way, they have masculine and feminine forms. So it is cantor or cantrix, amator or amatrix. So the TRIX ending is usually not always, but often the feminine form.
Yeah, and temple.
Yeah,
the
executor,
Jewish
executrix.
person is called a cantor,
Yes.
and there is no cantrix. So.
Okay. Laudabamus.
Okay, that means we were praising. That's imperfect.
Correct.
So we want laudavimus. We have praised.
Correct.
Sometimes I was getting confused on the parts of speech because if they say second person, I never know what that is. I have to go through in my head. I, you, he, she, or it, and so I may get some of these wrong.
Okay. The third one,
Okay.
vocabatus,
Okay.
I think is you were calling.
Right.
Floor.
And changing to, I don't know what it changes to, but I know the meaning.
It should be vocavistus.
Vocavistus. Yes.
Y'all called.
You plural have called. Yeah. I got tired of the y'all, so I just added the plural. Yeah. And Adam,
The
it's
question, quick thing. In
Yeah.
English, in modern English, the second person singular and second person plural have kind of just merged in just you.
correct.
But but like traditionally it'd be thou is singular, correct?
Correct.
And you is plural.
Correct.
Okay. I always get like, is thou singular or is thou plural? Like, so
Yeah,
thou is
thou-
singular.
yeah,
Should be saying.
It's always singular. Let's see, what should we have? Read sonnets of the Portuguese. Let's see, what else would be a good, well, or the old duet reams maybe.
Actually, I have a question on the pronunciation of the fourth one. Is it habuerunt?
Yep.
Okay. So they possessed. That should be perfect.
Or they had.
Or they
Or
had.
they, yeah. That's the perfect form. So
Correct.
the imperfect would be habebant.
Yep.
Okay.
Michael?
Yeah.
Is this word, the habera, is this like hui and monui, in that the first person singular is habui?
No, the first person singular is habeo.
Okay. On the perfect? I'm talking about the perfect.
Oh, I'm
Michael.
sorry. Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
I was
You're
trying to
talking
draw-
about first person singular
Perfect.
perfect.
Yeah, I was asking if it's
All
the
right.
same.
Yeah, it would be habu. Excuse me. You're right.
It's-
Habui.
it's-
I
so
was thinking you were referring to present tense. Yes, habu.
I'm trying to draw the connection with fui and
Yes.
monui, monui.
Monui. Yes. And
So all three-
habuerunt is a long ere verb, second conjugation.
Okay.
So yes.
So those are three examples where they all have that first person singular perfect is the UI ending.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Face bomb.
I made, or we made. No, it was I made.
Well, it's I, but I would
I-
object to the made.
It's I was making.
I was
Correct.
making. Okay.
This,
Oh, I
this
see.
is yeah, you see a bomb there. It's
Mhm.
got to be imperfect. So
Imperfect,
I was
great.
making.
I was making. That's
So we want
it
fetchy.
was not completed. Is the imperfect is an action in the past that has not been completed, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Well, or at least it's uncertain. I mean, you could say, I was reading until you came into the room.
But normally if you just say, I was reading, you
and
don't
you-
know if you're still reading or,
Yeah, you don't know if you're still reading or not. So I mean, but yes, there's not a clear, definitive, you're done. So,
and I actually have oh no, not,
So
yeah,
the
on the next one.
pronunciation, is it fetchy, or is how would,
fa, chi, e, bam.
right? But would you change it to
Fetchy.
for
Feci.
the perfect?
Yes, sorry,
Feci.
feci. Yes. Yeah, you're telling Fido to go get it. Feci, feci.
Fetchy. That's all.
So in the next one,
That's terrible.
duxisti
Thank you.
is perfect. It means you led. You're all done. You used to lead. I mean, you led in the
You
past.
led or you have led, either one. Yeah.
You have led. Okay, so that's the perfect. So the imperfect is ducibus.
Yep.
I would translate that as, okay, I tend to get these mixed up because it's not like was making. I was leading.
Yeah.
You've used have, not was. So I'm having a hard time telling. I know the first one's perfect and the second one's imperfect, but I don't know how to express that in English.
Okay. The first, well, let me go ahead and paste this in here. Oh, that's terrible.
Well, if you can say fetchy,
I know that's fair. Yeah, perfectly fair comment. For those that didn't see it, an Italian astronaut is a specimen. Oh well. Anyway, okay. So the perfect form is you led or you have led. Your choice. Ducebas is simply you were leading. I was reading. They were reading, or I was leading. You were leading. They were leading. He was leading. Understand?
I forget it was muted. So if you say you have led, is that perfect or imperfect?
That is perfect.
Okay, so you led, you have led, they're both perfect. But
Yes.
you were leading does not imply you're not still leading now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
The others will have to help because this is as far as I got. When we started getting to translations, I started struggling.
Invenit. Well, you did a lion's share, so it's time for the others to step up here. Invenit. Invenit.
So venit
Right.
would be,
He, she, it has found. Whoops. Has found.
so
No,
how is
pasted it in there.
venit related to invenit? Like veiny?
Yeah, well, this, okay.
it also means came upon. So that's one way to think of it.
Yeah, okay. Invenio literally means to come upon.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, but it means,
And we use those.
hold on, let me finish. It means in the sense of to discover or to
Right.
find. That's where we get the word invention. So invenit in its usual simple sense, invenio usually is seen as to find out, to discover, to invent, ascertain, stuff like that. So Anyway, Francis, you want to fill out the rest? What does it need to be changed to? Invenie bat, yes. Invenie bat, and that means he was finding. Yes, he, she, it was finding. Craig,
Michael,
yeah.
did you know that on your pensum, you don't have a, let me see. Change to. Okay, you just have this in a different order. That's okay.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
I
you don't have 4 columns.
yes,
only have
I
3.
realized that. I mailed those out and I said, oh, I really should have 4 columns there for the base word, meaning, change to, and then meaning. So yeah, what I left off was this meaning column. And I
Okay.
fixed it. So anyway, credebas.
You were believing.
You were believing, yes. And it's you singular, as in thou or whatever you want to do it. Meaning, oh, and then the form is
Credidisti.
credidisti, yes. Credidisti, you have believed. Sanavi. Sanavi, I have healed, yes. And change it to Sanabam, I was healing, yes. Yeah, and oh, well, never mind. And that means I was healing. I should have put both of those in there at the same time. There we go. Yes. Dicebat. Dicebat.
He, she, it said.
Yeah, he was, well, saying.
Saying.
It's the perfect form. It sometimes will be translated as he said, but really, let's not go there. Let's just keep it as he was saying, and that way it looks nice and imperfect. Yes, Dixie. Way down in the land of Dixie, or something like that. Whoops. Hold on.
Okay, no laughing.
Oh, please do. There we go. Replevimus. Replevimus. Sorry, let me get the short I in there. Replevimus. We have completed, yes.
Or we have filled.
Or we have filled, or refilled also.
Yep.
And what goes here? Replebamus, yes. So, oops, there we go. Mash style. And videbant, videbant. They were seeing. Yes. And what goes there? Viderunt, yes. Yeah, there we go. They saw, they have seen for that. Yeah, okay, there we go. And now we got some translations. Let's see how far we can.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, if nobody can get, for anybody who cannot translate that first one, I'm going to send you back to, I don't know, remedial Latin class.
We're in
something.
trouble.
Yeah, I don't,
Glory to God in the highest.
Yes, thank you.
Glory to God in the highest.
Yes. Most of us sing that every Sunday. Well, actually, that's not quite true. Every Sunday outside Lent. And we sing it during Advent? Trying to remember. Anyway, but certainly most of the year. Minister.
So this should be the minister and the servants prayed Kyrie eleison. Only this should be darn. Have prayed.
Or
Well, you
prayed.
can either use the simple past in English, prayed, or have prayed, either one.
Technically, not all that's Latin.
That's correct. That is Greek. Kyrie eleison, Lord have mercy. But just as in English, you know, we quote, in fact, it's rather funny, is when we refer to the lingua franca, we're referring to the French language, which was the diplomatic language of what, 18th century, 19th century, maybe, but we're using a Latin term there. So go figure. Anyway, Dominus, qui est bonus, desideria populi semper scivit.
Well, and
Lord
made it.
who is good has always known the wants of his people.
The desires, wants, yes.
I think it's all has known is better.
Could you say
Well,
need?
always knew. Always had.
See, has known has more of a permanence to it.
Yeah, you could do it either way. Always knew or always has known. Your choice. Whoops, I don't need the always in there.
It would be has always known.
Oh, you're right. Always has known. Ooh, that sounds awkward, doesn't it?
It doesn't sound right. It
Yeah,
has always known.
yeah. Yeah. Oops. Oh. There we go. Yeah. Servus quem sis ministro et aquam et vinum dedit.
The servant whom you have known gave both water and wine to the minister.
Mm-hmm. Whoops, that's the wrong keystroke. There we go. The servant whom you know. Yeah. Oh, you said known there, didn't you, Allison? No, she's.
Well, I wrote down no, but then I changed it when I set it to known. I wasn't.
No, it should. Okay. I realize we're using the perfect a lot here, but shio, the word is the shio, shivi, and shitum. Sorry, that's just a amusing word in English.
Be careful there.
Yeah, I know. And the third person singular is sheet. Fortunately, that's a long no, actually, I'm sorry, it's a short I, isn't it? Oh dear, it is shit. Okay, well, anyway. Yeah, but no, that is present tense. It would if it were that you had known, it would have been shivis. There'd been a vi in there. Verba Christii. Woo. I think there's an extra I that snuck in there.
Yeah.
Verba
So like
Christi, quae audimus apostoli tradiderunt.
something about who hears the word of Christ is, oh darn, I remember the tradiderunt was like imparted by the apostles.
Well, actually, Francis has got it right here. Let me go ahead and paste it in.
Sometimes it's
Apostles. Now, this one, you actually have a couple different ways depending upon which order you want to put it in. Okay.
Ah.
But the words of Christ, which
we hear.
here the apostles have handed down. That's the literal order. That's a bit awkward in English. We don't separate the clause or the parts that way. So you might reorder it to the apostles have handed down the words of Christ, which we hear. Again, a couple different ways you can do it. I mean, you could probably say the words of Christ, which we hear, the apostles have handed down.
I was wondering, could you also try using delivered as a word instead of handed down for a verb there? Or-
Oh, tradiderant, trado, delivered.
It's translated that way on some of the dictionaries.
Let me check mine. To give up, hand over. Okay, deliver, transmit, surrender. Okay. Yep. Okay. Qui discipuli in Galilee sciverunt quod Jesus Nazarenus erat filius unigenitus Dei. Which disciples in Galilee knew that Jesus of Nazareth was the only the only begotten Son of God. Yes.
Actually, Jesus the Nazarene, I think, is probably more accurate.
You can do it either way.
Well, if you have of, then you have a
Well,
problem.
okay. In Latin, Jesus Nazarenus
It's Jesus the Nazarene.
can be Jesus the Nazarene, or you can think of it as Jesus of Nazareth. You're right. Jesus the Nazarene is a little more literal. Jesus of Nazareth is a little more colloquial. So yeah, take your pick. Secundum tua verba pereniter operavimus et oravimus.
According to your words, we constantly work and pray.
That works.
This is the text has two definitions for secundum. One is the according to, and then the other is next. So it depends on how it's used.
Yeah, secundum, you got to be a little careful about, because secunda can mean the second.
Right.
So that's
Next.
where it gets its notion of next.
Right.
And secundum is meaning according in this context. So yeah, it's a word that gets well, actually, I'm not sure secundum in the sense of according and secunda as in the second or next. Let's see.
Secundus is next and second.
Yeah,
But secundum as a preposition is according to.
yeah. That's what makes it so much fun.
So you can have secundum and you just have to look at the context.
Yep. No, I was curious if they were related in terms of I was looking at the more detailed entry in the dictionary to see if they're related or they just happen to be the same. Sometimes you get two words that mean the same thing for totally different reasons. And sometimes you get words that are similar because they're related. So anyway, cui servo non caris fuit dominus.
Judas. Is there another one?
Okay. As a translation, I'll have to dock you a point. However, Alex, however, as a answer, I give you extra credit.
I'm not the, I'm not the translator. I was just answering the question.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. As a translation, it wasn't that great, but as an answer, it was fantastic. That's what I meant by that, if it wasn't clear.
All right.
Okay. Er unigenitum filium Deus debita nostrorum peccatorum solvit.
Through his only begotten Son, God sets free the debts of our sins.
Yeah. Yep. Or pays back, or there's a couple ways of solvit.
Yeah,
Solvit can mean as in free, as in dissolve, as in release. Pays back, yeah, that works too. I mean, there's a couple of different ways of translating.
Yeah, I think
solvit.
I think pays back and release are better here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. All right, here's another one. I hope everybody can mostly get. Agnus Dei qui tollit peccata mundi, a popolo semper laudatur. Ooh, we have a passive voice.
Yeah.
Yep. Francis has got it. The Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world is always praised by the or his people, or by people, or however you want to work that one.
Is this one of those cases, Michael, where because you have people here, you have to have the before the popolo?
Yes.
So it's the ablative of, I forget what you call it.
Oh dear. Shoot. The ablative of persons. I can't think of the name of it either. That's terrible. Agency?
Maybe it's agency, yeah.
I think I'd have to go back. I think it's agency is the word that they use. And by the way, some of those ablative terms differ depending upon the author. So be advised of that. And
if it's not a person, you don't have the there. I can't recall.
Well, okay. You don't have to.
Okay, but you have to if it is a person.
You have to here. There's no way around it.
Right.
Yeah, you have to here. And yeah, you have to here. Just leave it at that. All right, we only have a few minutes left. Well, I'll tell you what, let's leave the rest. Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we got quite a bit left here. We're going to finish up the rest of this next time. But what I want to do here is take a few minutes. Again, read and study units 1 through 10. This is going to be, yeah, that's all right. Save it, Francis. I won't give it away, but that could very well be the right answer. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, you're going to see this every time we add a new chapter. I'm gonna say read that. So work on declensions, work on verb forms, write them down as much as you can. I think I'm gonna next time I teach this class, I think I'm going to automatically insert what he did this time, which was to have people directly conjugate stuff as part of the exercises, because I think that actually helps him enforce it. But I wanted to point out something. Believe it or not, you should know enough of the basics now to understand much of the Latin liturgy. There are things you have not had yet. So I wouldn't say you can pick up any random piece of the liturgy and be able to translate it such that it becomes beautiful English. But you know enough that you should be able to stumble through most of it And so now I think it's time to move past the, now here's your chance, folks. Ecce maculus curit, cure maculae cure. Would anybody care to take a shot at translating that? It's not in the notes, by the way. I added this last minute.
Good, it has something to do with running.
Yeah.
And Ecce is like, look here, see this, or, behold, or whatever. So, maculus, I'm drawing a blank on.
Well, what is Mater Immaculata? Or Immaculata Maria, sorry, mixing. Yeah. Immaculate. So what is maculus? What does immaculate mean?
Unstained.
Unstained, unspotted. So what is maculus?
Not spotted. Not unstained or stained.
Yeah, spotted.
Yeah.
See, spot, run. Run, spot, run.
Oh, gosh.
Well, maybe not. Maybe it's not time to pass by that. maybe not. Anyway, what I want to do.
Old enough to remember that.
Yeah. No, I figured you guys would certainly get that. Oh man, I'm kind of crushed. Anyway.
Oh, come on. Maculae, spot.
Maculus. So yeah, maculus is spot. And there's even a oh, what's I'm trying to remember the English word. Oh darn it. There's also maculatus. Well, anyway, the verb is maculo, which means to make spotted, to spot, to speckle.
Well, would it be appropriate to say maculus feci?
I think you want maculum. Don't you want the accusative?
No, just spot, fetch.
Oh, fetchy. Oh, wow. I missed that one. Ouch. Ouch. I've created a monster. That's all right. I'm jealous I didn't think of it. Anyway, what I'm thinking of, we'll finish this exercise. I want to think about taking a few classes and take up some of the common prayers and extracts of the liturgy. We will translate them as exercises, both in class and homework. I'm going to warn you, get your dictionaries ready, for we will make use of them. Try not to use Google Translate, because you'll probably have some really great bloopers in there. Or at least don't rely on it. Let me put it that way. Maybe that's a better way. And I will consider if there's a particular prayer, text, whatever that you might be interested in. But before we do this, we really need the third and fourth and fifth declension nouns. So we'll do those after the exercises next time. We've seen a couple of them kind of lurking in our prayers. Pater, okay. The genitive is patris, not patri. So one pater, two patres, two fathers, mater, matris, the plural is matres, peccator, peccatoris, sinner of sinner. And of course, the temptatio, all the TIO ending nouns are all feminine third declension nouns. So what I'm going to do is depart a little bit from the book. We'll pick up declensions 3 through 5. If you really want to pick up unit 14 in the book, go ahead. I'm not going to go in quite as much detail. My point here is to fill in a serious hole, because as I said, you have the present tense, you have the imperfect tense, you have the future tense, and you have the perfect tense, and you have the active and passive of most of those. We have not done the past perfect passive, which we will get to eventually. But by knowing most of those, you should be able to get through a good deal of the liturgy. So I thought it would be nice to kind of take a break and take a couple of yeah, this is our equivalent of doing the Gallic Wars, but so we might start with, say, the prayer to Saint Michael, which is fairly easy. Sancta Michael Arcangele, defendi nos in coelio. But you will need your dictionary, because there will be lots and lots of words you haven't had. So keep your dictionaries handy. And I haven't quite decided on the format either, how I'm going to do this. I will obviously have to send out the prayers ahead of time. I'm not sure if I want to include vocabulary, or what I may do is just kind of put it in a list so you guys can write notes on the side. We'll see what, I'll experiment with a few things and we'll see what makes sense.
Michael, could I make a request?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
If there's something particularly difficult or arcane, I think all of us would benefit from you including some.
Oh, yes.
Of
Yes.
that nature.
Yes, definitely. Yes, that was my intent. As I said, I'm not sure how much I'm going to have you guys just fill out versus how much I'm going to supply. I do want you guys to sweat a bit in the sense of work hard, but I don't want you to sweat in the sense of sheer terror or frustration, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I plan on and I also plan to take some of the simpler ones. So I think we'll talk about that some more next time. As I said, we'll finish up the exercises and we will start the declensions, and we'll talk about what a couple of different ways to maybe do this, just to kind of we've been learning the structure of the language and the grammar and the vocabulary, and that's all very good. But I think now we can take a little bit of a break and start looking at some of the easier texts. And that will, hopefully give you a clearer understanding. And that's why I said, see Spot run. Actually, this really means behold, Spot is running. Run, Spot, oh Spot, run. So, and maybe we'll do the quis in prima est as part of that exercise, which is not liturgical. Anyway, let's finish up here. I will mute everybody, and we will say the closing prayer. Oops. If I can figure out where the mute went off to. There it is. All right, here it is. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum. Adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimitimus debitoribus nostris. Et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo. Amen. So with that, we're done. I'll stay on for just a few more minutes in case there's any last minute questions, but otherwise,